Hey guys, let's do some Elimination Chamber hot takes here as we head into the Elimination Chamber on Saturday from Toronto. I don't think WWE is going to do this, but I, honest to God, think there is a compelling argument for Roxanne Perez to win the Women's Elimination Chamber on Saturday. I don't think they'll do it, but there's a way to get there and to make it make sense where Roxanne Perez is in a match for the Women's World Championship against Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, whoever. There's a way to get there and make it make sense. I don't think they're going to do it because I think the safe option is, you have Bailey face Roxanne at Stand and Deliver. Maybe it makes it to the Mania card, but it feels like that's where this is going, especially with both of them in the chamber. Liv Morgan seems like an option. Bianca Belair seems like an option. Naomi seems like an option. But a lot of people are just dismissing Roxanne Perez in this whole thing. Alexa Bliss, would be a very interesting choice, but she hasn't been on TV nearly enough since she returned for me to believe that she's going to win this match. So I don't see that. It's just, and then there's Bailey, and Bailey literally was in a WrestleMania high profile match, and I don't see that happening. But I'm here to tell you this, and I've said it here on this channel: Roxanne Perez is the damn future of this company, male or female. This girl is a star. She is barely in her early 20s. She has loads of experience for somebody her age. She has already been highly featured on main roster and NXT television, specifically in the last handful of months. She had the longest performance in the Royal Rumble in the history of the women's side of things. I'll have to double check and see in terms of the actual times on the men's side, but one of the longest runs in a Royal Rumble ever. And that says something to me. And I've been speaking glowingly about this woman for a long time, but I don't think that it's that far-fetched for Roxanne Perez to win the Elimination Chamber on Saturday. And then potentially you lump Bailey in, or you lump in an Io Sky. And I know this seems very convoluted, but let me tell you right now, I do not see Rhea Ripley in a straight singles match at this point right now at WrestleMania. My initial theory was that, the Io Sky Rhea Ripley match on Raw 2 days after the Elimination Chamber Liv Morgan was going to fit into this. There's another option on the table where you could lump Bailey and also Io Sky into this along with Roxanne Perez, and you get potentially to a fatal four-way Women's World Championship match. Everybody is clamoring for the Bianca Belair, Rhea Ripley match, which is inevitably one of the biggest women's matches that you could do. I don't see them doing that on the same WrestleMania as they're doing Tiffany Stratton, Charlotte Flair. That is not to say that is an indictment on the women's division. It just feels very redundant to do two similar type matches, like with your stars of both your Raw and SmackDown women's divisions on the same show, maybe on two different nights of WrestleMania. I just don't see how that's realistic. That's not even getting to the point. There is no story whatsoever. None whatsoever getting to WrestleMania when, hey, Bianca and Rhea. What are we doing with Jade Cargill? Have we forgot? I mean, I know she's been off television for a while because are we just going to forget about that story that's been set up for months? Guys, Bianca Belair is not winning the Elimination Chamber. She's not. And maybe I'm wrong, and maybe they surprise me, but I just don't see a logistical scenario with Jade Cargill, her return looming, for that to happen. Rhea and Bianca does not need to happen this year. Everybody needs to chill out. There is too much that you need to let the thing bake for a lot longer than where this is. And if she wins the match, cool. You're gonna have 5-6 weeks to build a WrestleMania match. Everybody's like, oh, they faced each other in NXT. Guys, can you honestly tell me what the hell happened in that match 5 years ago in NXT? Bianca was tossed aside like she was nothing, just so we could get Rhea and Charlotte at a WrestleMania in front of nobody. So, like I said, to me, I think a lot of people are just looking past Roxanne Perez as a viable winner of the Women's Elimination Chamber in Toronto, because it's clear they see something in her. She's been bouncing between multiple shows. She's in a high-profile feud with Bailey, And I know some people will say, man, that's kind of disrespectful to Rhea Ripley to put her in a multi-woman match. Is it? Is it? You could insert another feud into this, and then Rhea it sets up a couple things. Rhea can just be dominant and just beat everybody, which would be great. Or you could have somebody else steal the championship and Rhea doesn't have to get pinned. I know that would feel kind of stupid since she literally just won it in January. But hey, maybe that potentially sets up the storyline of Rhea going to a different show in the draft. And that sets up the Bianca Belair match from when I would do it is in New Orleans at WrestleMania 42. And to be honest with you, depending how things get set up in New Orleans, that wouldn't be able to main event a night of WrestleMania. I don't see a women's match main eventing a night of WrestleMania this year. I just don't. That's not to disrespect the women's division, but if you let this story bake and don't rush it, which is why one of the primary reasons why I just don't think it's realistic for Bianca to win this. But with Io Sky having a match, that tells me that I think what we're going to get some sort of multi-woman match for the Women's World Championship. It could be Io Sky with Liv Morgan involved in it as well, with Rhea Ripley. It could be Bayley. After Roxanne Perez wins, she works her way in, and there's a whole commotion between those two that gets involved in that match and screws it up, and it leads to some sort of fatal four-way. And you're able to showcase multiple feuds, multiple years of storytelling with Bayley and Roxanne, and also Bayley and Io, who were literally on WrestleMania in a title match a year ago. I actually think this is good for the women's division, that there's a little bit of unpredictability in this match. Everybody's just wanting to rush to these dream matches. Guys, I understand that life is short and sometimes you have to rush to certain things. There's no reason to go to this right away when it comes to Bianca Belair. So my hot take, at least going into this, is I really think that Roxanne Perez is more of a threat to win this match than people realize. And if it were me, I would book her to win this match. I don't think they will do it. I think there's other options on the board that feel a little bit safer. But I'll be honest with you, I think Roxanne winning isn't that terrible of an idea. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye.